Daivam Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam. Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmalitam Jena Tasme Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Tatati Swaha Tatati. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyaksh Kripa Sindhu Vyavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ji ki jai. So, when I saw the topic, Krishna's appearance in Mathura and Vrindavan, very, very purifying to understand the appearance of Lord Krishna and those who are directly involved in his appearance. Mother Devaki, Shri Vasudev ji, Krishna's father, our Kansa, Mama ji, and of course, Nanda Baba and Jashoda Mai. These few personalities are very intimately, directly, on the spot, connected with Krishna's birth. There are many, many others, but these are the main characters. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 4 and 5, we want to touch upon, we'll read something from chapter 4 and 5. We'll say a few things about chapter 4 and read few words from chapter 5. Let me share. If some other souls have connected, please keep your videos on so that I can mark you present. Yes, let me share. What's happening in chapter 4? That Balaramji has appeared, as we also discussed last week in the temple, celebrating Balaram Purnima. Balaramji is the 7th child of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. That 7th child is taken birth in the womb of Mother Devaki, and then by the instructions of the Lord to Yogamaya, that child from the womb of Mother Devaki is attracted, is transferred to the womb of Mother Rohini. So Balaramji is son of Devaki and Vasudeva, and also son of Mother Rohini. Our Acharya explains Balaram is the only personality who has two mothers. Which child can have two mothers? But he has two mothers, Devaki and Rohini. So now is the time for Krishna's appearance. The 8th child, Lord appeared. There's a greater discussion, but I want to go to chapter 5 a little bit, so I'm going to fast forward. But the Lord appeared in the heart of Mother Devaki, and then from the heart, he appears in the womb of Mother Devaki. And then um, he appears as four-handed forms with Shankha, Gada, Padma in his hand, Chakra, as Lord Vishnu. And then he immediately, first thing he tells Vasudev, that you please take me on the other side of river Yamuna to Gokula. And you go there, and Yashoda Mai has a girl, and then you switch me with that girl, the daughter of Yashoda Mai, and bring that daughter back, leave me in Gokula. Vasudeva and Devaki, they pray, they make their prayers to Lord Vishnu and agree to follow his instructions. As soon as they agree, um, it explains the shackles of Vasudeva and Devaki. They were in the prison cell, shackles opened, all the superintendent of prisons, they fell asleep, and doors opened, and Yamuna Mai swelled with a lot of water because she was so happy to touch the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. For her to touch the lotus feet of Krishna, she had to come up. Uh, uh, so Vasudev takes baby Lord Krishna to Yashoda Mai, switch, come back, and when he comes back with this daughter, girl, um, then all these prisoners, not prisoners, the prison superintendent, the police, the cops, the security guards, they wake up from the slumber of Yogamaya, and then they hear the cry, and they share that news with Kansa, and Kansa came, and when he sees this girl, he was a bit first mesmerized because he thought eighth child will be son, and that will be the cause of my death. But he still, even she was girl, he still tried to smash her against that stone, but she disappeared in the sky and made an announcement, Akashvani, that Kansa, you're a fool. Um, the eighth child of Devaki has appeared somewhere else. Um, so here is something very interesting, that from that point, as soon as Durga Mai appeared, uh, Khansa heart got melted. So when I was reading this, I was amazed that Khansa, who was so hard-hearted, that he killed these six sons of Mother Devaki, his own sister, his own brother-in-law. But now, by the presence of Mother Durga, by her Akashvani, by her darshan, by her touch, because he was trying to smash her. He held her in his hands and he was trying to smash her to kill her. So he got touch of Mother Durga. See, um, so I was meditating that by the touch, just like Dhruv Maharaj was touched by the Shankha of Vishnu, all his desires were purified. Similarly, here, Dhruva Maharaj was a pure devotee anyway. But here, Kansa, who apparently was full with material desire and sense gratifications, uh, performs so many uh, atrocities to the Yadu dynasty. He put his own father in the jail. He changed, and he changed very drastically. If you read those verses, I was amazed. Um, he used the word for Devaki and Vasudev. He said, "You are Mahabhaga. You're very fortunate. You're very special." Here is Mamaji who changed all of a sudden, and he said, "I am a papi. What will happen to me? Which planet I will go? I have performed so many uh, atrocities to all of you, my sister and brother." He had tears in his eyes and he fell at the lotus feet of his brother and sister. This is Kansa. So if you think about it, what changed in between those first seven and this eighth child? Krishna appeared, yes, but he immediately transferred himself to Gokula. Uh, he didn't allow Kansa to touch him, but Mother Durga allowed Kansa to touch him. And he was able to hear what she said. His heart melted. So that's something very special for all of us to take it seriously. That sometimes we genuinely feel that I'm fallen, I'm patita, I'm papi, and we should. I should. Uh, but at the same time, it's not hopelessness. There's a greater hope that Krishna is still on my side. Vaishnavas are still on my side. Mother Durga is still on my side. Srimati Radharani is on my side. Um, that should not make us relaxed and we lapse again and again and again. That's not the point. But keeping our hopes alive is the only shelter we have. The only shelter we have. Um, so that's from chapter 4. Uh, I read the whole chapter twice. And this particular point struck me. That Khansa, which we never ever thought he would ever be able to melt, he melted. He immediately relieved after touching the feet with the tearful eyes of feet of his brother-in-law and sister. He immediately um, let them go home. Um, but then it's explained that he slept overnight. He had a wonderful sleep. First time he had the best sleep in his last, 7, 8 years, because every year he was going through this. Sharanagati Mataji, if you can please mute yourself. So this is the first night because his heart was melted. He cried. He felt he's patita. He's sinful. And he really asked for forgiveness to his sister and brother-in-law. He actually had a wonderful sleep. But then next morning when he woke up, he went to the assembly of his ministers and he told the ministers what happened. And ministers said, they said, whatever it is, you still heard that this eighth child has born somewhere else. Therefore, your enemy is still on the road. So this is these are advisors to Kamsa. So having bad advisors in our life is the worst thing we can have. So Kansa, just night before, his heart is melted. He felt so fallen, so connected to Krishna consciousness. Next morning, these advisors changed his mind again. They gave him a huge lecture, actually. Um, they said Vishnu, uh, the main parts of Vishnu's are Brahmans, Brahmans, cows, austerities, truthfulness, merciful. He said these are the main parts of Vishnu that Vishnu loves. Therefore, if Vishnu is coming to kill you, then you must first kill the parts of Vishnu. So therefore, within the last 10 days, all the children in Braja, all the Brahmanas, all the cows, all the yagyas getting performed, let's destroy it. They said, you don't have to do much. You authorize us. You already empowered us. You already given us all this shiksha. But now you authorize us. We will do the needful. So this is where chapter 4 ends. Kansa is given into the device of his demoniac ministers. So sometime in our lives, we might also find people like Kansa's advisors. We want to be very, very careful. Anyway, Kansa allows them to go ahead and create havoc in the streets of Praja. So Brahmanas getting attacked, Yagyas are getting attacked, cows are getting attacked. And here chapter 5 starts. Let me share a few. Actually, we will read a few and then we will say a few things. Where is my share? Screen 2. You can all see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, good. So chapter 4 ends as atrocities of King Kansa. Chapter 5, very interesting. Something more like joyful thing about Krishna's birth. Because talking about Kansa, talking about demoniac advisors is not joyful for all of us either, even though it's divine. But in chapter 5, Nanda Maharaj, he wants to go to Mathura. But before he wants to go to Mathura, to pay his taxes, yearly taxes were paid every year. They're supposed to be paid to Kansa. And Nanda Maharaj was the king of Gokula, that part of the Braja. He was collecting taxes and he was also paying a lot of taxes. So, but before he would do that, now Krishna has come. Krishna has taken birth to Jashoda Mai. And Nanda Baba wants to celebrate. So this is something very beautiful. We will read some of these translations. We will not be able to go to the verses one by one, but let's read translation. Shukadeva Goswami said, Nanda Maharaj was naturally very magnanimous And when Lord Shri Krishna appeared as his son, he was overwhelmed by jubilation. Therefore, after bathing and purifying himself and dressing himself properly, he invited Brahmanas who knew how to recite Vedic mantras. So this is our first part. So there are a lot of learnings for all of us. What we do when we have a child or a grandchild. This is what we do first. We invite Brahmanas who know how to recite Vedic mantras. After having these qualified Brahmanas recite auspicious Vedic hymns, he arranged to have the Vedic birth ceremony celebrated for his newborn child according to the rules and regulations, and he also arranged for worship of the demigods and forefathers. Another lesson for all of us. Sometimes we forget. We invite Brahmanas to recite mantras, but we forget about other devatas who are running this universe, and we forget about our grandparents, forefathers, by whom blessings we have now this child. In that lineage, we have a child, but we forget about. We're so much engaged in balloons and ice creams that we forget about our grandparents. That's another lesson for us. So here, Nanda Baba, Krishna's father, he's teaching us lessons by his own examples. Nanda Maharaj gave 2 million cows. We can give 2 cows, that's good. Completely decorated with clothes and jewels in charity to the Brahmanas. He also gave them 7 hills of grain covered with jewels and with cloth decorated with golden embroidery. We can decorate with beautiful flowers if we don't have means to decorate with gold. O king, by the passing of time, land and other material possessions are purified. This is Shukdev Goswami speaking with Parikshit Maharaj. O king, may know Parikshit Maharaj. By the passing of time, land and other material possessions are purified. By bathing, the body is purified. And by being cleansed, unclean things are purified. By purificatory ceremonies, birth is purified. By austerity, the senses are purified. And by worship and charity offered to the Brahmanas, material possessions are purified. Something, there's so much to think, so much to meditate upon. By satisfaction, the mind is purified, and by self realization or Krishna consciousness, the soul is purified. So the whole existence can be understood how to purify our whole existence through this just one verse. Just one verse. Then Shukdev Goswami says, the Brahmanas recited auspicious Vedic hymns which purify the environment by their vibration. The experts in reciting old history like the Puranas, the experts in reciting the histories of royal family, the general reciters all chanted, while singers sang and many kinds of musical instruments like bihiras and dundubis played an accompaniment. Brajpura, the residence of Nand Maharaj, was fully decorated with varieties of festoons and flags in different places. Gates were made with varieties of flower garlands, pieces of cloth and mango leaves. The courtyard, the gates near the roads, and everything within the rooms of the houses were perfectly swept and washed with water. The cows, the bulls, and the calves were thoroughly smeared with a mixture of turmeric and oil, mixed with varieties of minerals. Their heads were bedecked with peacock feathers, and they were garlanded and covered with cloth and golden ornaments. So cows and bulls and calves are given due respect. Not that festivities are going in the town and they are left in the forest. That's not the point. They're given full respect. O King Parikshit, the cowherd men dressed very opulently with valuable ornaments and garments, such as coats and turbans. The gopi wives, the cowherd men, were very pleased to hear that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a son, and they began to decorate themselves very nicely with proper dress. Hmm. Um, so these gopis are getting dressed, ornamented. Here is a blessing starts. Now these gopis, they are saying, they're giving blessings, offering blessings to newborn child Krishna. The wives and daughters of the cowherd men said, may you become the king of Braja and long maintain all its inhabitants. And then they sprinkled a mixture of turmeric powder, oil, and water upon the birthless Supreme Lord and offered their prayers. Um, um, Now, this is very beautiful verse 15 and 16. The great minder Maharaj Nanda gave clothing, ornaments, and cows in charity to the cowherd men in order to please Lord Vishnu. And thus he improved the condition of his own son in all respects. So it's not this verse 15, 16. If I open it, you'll see here the word used is Swaputrasya Udyaya. Swaputrasya mean of his own child Udyaya for the improvements in all respects. So Nanda Maharaj is giving charity to the Brahmanas and worshipping Lord Vishnu and serving the cows to please Lord Vishnu. Therefore, his son gets benefited. Krishna gets benefited. That's important. So for us as parents and grandparents to benefit our children, to benefit so that they come closer to Lord Vishnu, they get purified by their karmic reaction, from their karmic reactions. We give charity to the Brahmanas and the cows, and we worship Lord Vishnu. That's the point. Now here is the most fortunate Rohini, the mother of Baladev, was honored by Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, and thus she also dressed gorgeously and decorated herself with a necklace, a garland. O Maharaj Parikshit, the home of Nanda Maharaj is eternally the abode of Supreme Personal Godhead and his transcendental qualities, and is therefore always naturally endowed with the opulence of all wealth. Yet, beginning from Lord Krishna's appearance there, but sometimes this question might come that how is that Nanda Maharaj gave these lakhs and lakhs of cows in charity and these mountains of grains to the Brahmanas, where that how much Lakshmi Nanda Maharaj had? That question might come in our mind. Here is an answer. Parikshit Maharaj is, Shukdev Goswami is giving to Parikshit Maharaj that Mother Lakshmi, this verse 18 used Rama Kridham Abhyunu Nirpa. Rama Kridham. Mother Lakshmi made that house as her playground. Rama Kridham. Prabhupada translates the place of pastimes for the goddesses of fortune. So you can imagine goddesses of fortune had made that place. I thought some of us were on video as something happened. You tricked me nicely. Anyway, Rama Kridam. goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, has made her home, her playground as Nanda Maharaj home. Therefore, Acharya explains, then why worry about the opulences, the number of mountains or number of cows or the level of charity? There is no discussion required. Everything is there. You just desire, it will appear. That's beautiful, Rama Krida. And then, um, now here is the real next 20 to 30 something. Next 12, 13 verses, very interesting. Shukdev Goswami continued, therefore, my dear King Parikshit, O best protector of the Kuru dynasty, Nanda Maharaj appointed the local cowherd men to protect Gokula and then went to Mathura to pay the yearly taxes to King Kansa. So here is Nanda Maharaj leaving his little Krishna in the hands of the cowherd boys, cowherd men, Gopas, and he goes to Mathura to meet, to pay taxes, and also he had a great desire to meet Vasudev, his dear relative and his very dear close friend. So this is as soon as he went to Mathura, Vasudevji came to know. When Nanda Maharaj heard that Vasudev had come, he was overwhelmed with love and affection, being as pleased as the body had regained his life. So Vasudev, 20th verse. When Vasudev heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxi to Kansa, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence. So Vasudev waited to meet Nanda Maharaj till the taxes are all paid off. That particular business is done deal. Vasudev Maharaj did not want to go to see Nanda Maharaj when he's in the middle of paying taxes, because paying taxes is complicated, even then and even now. So it's explained that Vasudev waited, the taxes are paid, and now he went to the home where Nanda Maharaj was staying, and Vasudev meet. And there's tremendous amount of love and affection and embracing each other. And here Vasudev speaking something very beautiful when Nanda Maharaj, O Maharaj Parikshit, Shukdev Goswami says, having thus been received and welcomed by Nanda Maharaj with honor, Vasudev sat down very peacefully and inquired about his own two sons because of intense love for them. See, it is a very tricky situation in between these two personalities. Vasudev knows everything. Nanda Maharaj does not know everything. Vasudev knows about Krishna appearing in the prison cells and moved to Gokula. But Nanda Maharaj doesn't know. So Vasudev is very, very careful what to say. Because he's not sure how much Nanda Maharaj knows about this. So you will see in these verses, he's very careful. So he's saying, my dear brother Nanda Maharaj, at an advanced age, you had no son at all and were hopeless of having one. Therefore, that you now have a son is a sign of great fortune. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport on this verse that when you don't have any child for a long time, and if you're really getting old, then there is a greater chance that you'll have a child as daughter, not son. So Nanda Maharaj is not saying that. Uh, Vasudev is not saying that to Nanda Maharaj, that you didn't have a son, you had a daughter. No, no. He's quiet. He's keeping everything very generic. This is called sensitivity. Now he says, it is also my good fortune that I'm seeing you. Having obtained this opportunity, I feel as if I have taken birth again. Even though one is present in this world, to meet with intimate friends and dear relatives in this material world is extremely difficult. Many planks and sticks, unable to stay together, are carried away by the force of rivers, waves. Similarly, although we are intimately related with friends and family members, we are unable to stay together because of our varied past deeds and the waves of time. This we kind of more understand because many of us are here in America, and our uncle and aunties and nephews and nieces are in India, and vice versa. My dear Nanda Maharaj, this is what Sudev is saying. In the place where you're living with your friends, is the forest favorable for the animals, the cows? I hope there is no disease or inconvenience. Now, Vasudev is saying all this with this factor, with this proper understanding. He has proper understanding, Vasudev Maharaj, because he was in Gokula. He took Krishna to Gokula. So he's worried about his little Krishna. But he can't say that I'm worried about my son Krishna. Because he does not want Nanda Baba to know that Krishna is not your child. The place must be full of water, grass, and other plants. My son Baldev. So here he's opening up now a little bit. You can see he's opening up very little by little, very sensitive. Because he understands that Nanda Baba knows that Rohini's son Baldev is Vasudev's son. Rohini's second wife of Vasudev. So now he's saying, my son Baldev, being raised by you and your wife Yashoda Dev, consider you his father and mother. Is he living very peacefully in your home with his real mother Rohini? When one's friends or relatives, when one's friends and relatives are properly situated, one's religion, this is also very beautiful verse, practical for all of us. When one's friends and relatives are properly situated, one's religion, economic development, and sense gratification, dharma, artha, kama, as described in the Vedic literatures, are beneficial. Otherwise, if one's friends and relatives are in distress, these three cannot offer any happiness. So you, me, might have big cars, big home, big bank balance. If our relatives, friends are suffering, that will also cause us unhappiness. We will not be able to enjoy that dharma, artha, kama, moksha that's destined to come to us if our relationship with our friends, relatives are not cordial. That's the message Vasudev is giving to Nanda Babaji. Nanda Maharaj said, alas, King Kansa killed so many of your children born of Devaki, and your one daughter, the younger child of all, entered the heavenly planets. So this is Nanda Maharaj understanding that the eighth child was young daughter, and she went to the heavenly planets, Durga Mai. That much Nanda Maharaj knows and understands and is revealing. 30th, every man is certainly controlled by destiny, which determines the results of one's fruitive activities. In other words, one has a son or daughter because of unseen destiny. And when the son or daughter is no longer present, This also is due to unseen destiny. Destiny is the ultimate controller of everyone. One who knows this is never bewildered. Vasudev said to Nand Maharaj, "Now, my dear brother, since you have paid the annual taxes to Kansa and have also seen me, do not stay in this place for many days." Now, this is big. Vasudev is telling Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj has come all the way to Mathura to spend time with Vasudev. And Vasudev is saying, you please go back. It is better to return to Gokula, since I know that there may be some disturbances there. So what we smell here, what we see here, that Vasudev is extremely, extremely concerned and worried about the well-being of his little Krishna and Madhura. So he's asking, he's requesting, he's begging his brother Nanda Baba to go back to Gokula quickly, not to camp, stay in Mathura and get involved in the city matters and start enjoying city life of Mathura. He's saying, please go back immediately. Even though Vasudev needed that association very badly. He was in prison for all these years. He just said a few verses before that Nanda Baba, you coming is almost like me having a new birth. Such a joy and happiness to his life. But he's concerned about his son. Vasudev is concerned about his son, so he's asking Nanda Baba to go back to Gokul quickly. Sukdev Goswami said, after Vasudev advised Nanda Maharaj in this way, Nanda Maharaj and his associates, the cowherd men, took permission from Vasudev, yoked their bulls with bullock carts, and started riding for Gokula. This was chapter 5. Nanda Maharaj coming to Mathura to meet Vasudev. The excuse was paying taxes, but actual deal was to meet Vasudev. We can stop here. We have 10 minutes to 8. Any reflections, any thoughts, any learning, anything you see you like it very much, please share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandot Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Really, Dandavat.
Yeah, very nicely explained, Prabhuji. I like that day that Durga Mata appeared in front of Kansa, and then he released Vasudeva and his sister, and he felt relaxed and he could sleep. In our life also something happens, and sometimes like our problem get resolved, and then we also sleep very nicely. I like that. And Nanda Maharaj was giving gifts to everyone. So we should always think about like our seniors. Mostly we are just enjoying ourselves, but we forget our seniors. So we have to think about grandparents and our older generation. So that is also very nice point. And today I was just listening Amarendra Prabhu's lecture. So for 2025 Janmashtami, he very nicely said how he correlated to our life. He said how Vasudeva was taking Krishna in the basket from the prison on his head. So we are also in the prison, and we should carry Krishna, means Nam, on our head in the basket. And on the way, Yamuna river was like so much, like it was pouring. So in our life also so many calamities, miseries, sorrows coming up, but Sheshnag is covering Krishna and Vasudev, like that Guru is covering us, and then we can just cross our Bhavasagar. How Vasudev just crossed that Yamuna river, she gave the path, and he reached to Gokul. Like that, we have to also come out of that with the name of Krishna on our head, right? On our like keeping Krishna in the basket on our head, and we can cross that, and we can reach to Vaikuntha. So I just now before starting the class, I was just hearing, and it was so beautiful. So I wanted to share that.
Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. Yeah. Sure. Anybody else? Please share your heart. My dear friend Param Brahma Prabhu is there. Prabhuji, you want to share some thoughts?
No, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your nice class. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? नीरू माता जी, आपको क्या अच्छा लगा?
सब कुछ अच्छा लगा. Nice class, wonderful class, Bapuji.
Any one point that you like the most? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah, Prakash Prabhu. Yeshwara, you want to say something?
Thank you so much. A beautiful class. So much deep realizations, which we can absorb from this wonderful pastimes of Krishna is appearing in Madhura and before Vasudeva and Devaki. It's so amazing, so wonderful. I think it's always what we can also wanted to add to that is I just wanted to confirm. So Krishna appeared in the heart of Vasudev, then moved from there to Devaki's home, correct? Right? That's what.
Yeah, from the heart of Vasudeva to the heart of Devaki and then to the Devaki, correct.
Yeah. So we could see that there when you mentioned that point about that when Krishna was there, manifested, and Devaki was so glorious, very, what is called the enlightenment and the rays which manifest and the glow which on the face of. So Kamsa could understand that, right? That this is something is happening. And then you mentioned that and Krishna melted that time, seeing this, right? That's so. Then again, right? This is also, I think, this is a demoniac mentality. They are, they don't really come to their real consciousness of. So they are still on the material mundane platform. So they change any time. So even though they realize, they understand, they see in front of them, but they cannot completely come to this, pure consciousness of the Supreme. That's also another wonderful thing. When you said that, I was meditating on that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think this one part I'm just meditating now as you speak, that Kansa got melted after having seen Durga Mai and hearing her words, and with tearful eyes, he asked for forgivenesses and touched the feet of his sister and brother-in-law. That's very moving in one sense. It's not many demoniac personalities do that. If you look into Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Jarasandha, Shishupal, they didn't do that at any point in the game. But Kansa approaching his sister and brother-in-law with tearful eyes, and that goes to his credit. And I'm thinking loud that's one thing in his favor, that he was actually liberated by Lord Krishna's own hands as a young Lord Krishna. Didn't have to take any, different incarnation. Just Krishna himself as Supreme Person Godhead. Swayambhu, Bhagavan Krishna, he as 12-year-old going to Mathura, and Krishna Balaram liberating Kansa from this bodily conception of life. That's something Kansa received it. That's a special blessings too, that you get liberated from the lotus hands of Lord Krishna himself as avatari, not as an avatar or something. And I'm contributing that. This is my concoction somewhere to his this humble mood at some point in his life, that he was melted and he asked for forgiveness to his sister and brother-in-law. Was it real? Was it not real? We're nobody to judge his forgivenesses, but so yeah, at least that tells me that anytime we show our fallen position and ask for forgiveness and take a back seat and lower position, that's beneficial. Either that will benefit today, tomorrow, or at the end of lifetime or next life. That's only the will of the providence will decide. But it will definitely benefit the living entity. It's 8 o'clock.
Definitely. Thank you.
If nobody else has any point, we will end here. Is that all right?
Yeah. Let's if nobody has anything, anybody else has anything to add or any other reflections, otherwise let's chant together.
Quick question, Prabhuji. I just forgot, what vice does Kansa represent? Like some of the demons, they present like they stand for greed, envy, and all that. And so what does he?
I don't know. I think Kansa represents multiple of that. Something around lust, but I'm not sure. You can Google it. You'll see right away the answer.
Okay, no problem. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class.
Those other demons, Putana and Bakasura, Vatasura, Vastasura, Pralambasura, they all represent one of those.
Hmm.
But Kansa is boss of all of them, so Kansa had it all.
He had it all. Good answer.
So, but I'm sure he has one thing.
Okay,
That's
thank you.
definitely also signed by the Acharyas, but yeah,
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
really, thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vaishnav.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dhanyavad.
Let's chant together. Vanchakalpatarupasya
Vasudevaya,
Patitanaha
Patinanaha,
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Vaishnava
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad ki jai. Ananda Kodi
Jai.
Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai.
Hari
Hari
Hari.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Hari.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you all.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Tomorrow
you,
is
Hari
very
Hari Bol.
auspicious topic.
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow is Krishna's pastimes and the glories of Mother Yashoda seeing the universal form in the mouth of, Krishna. So it's a very wonderful topic. So don't miss this very special, sections. Thank you. Hare Krishna.